put together. And we should have ordered one, but we didn't. So we're gonna try to fix it so it stays up if we can get it. Please stay, stay, stay. We did it. What up, Wheatfield? Great day, great day, great day. Today is 12/6/2025, which happens to break down to 369. Yeah, 369, which is 9. Today is number 9, releasing energy. Interesting, interesting, interesting. Because the downloaded message we got today was dropping dead weight. The last time we spoke the day before yesterday, I think it was. I don't think we messaged yesterday. We feel, it's your girl Lati here at Tears and Wheat Throat Show. Where you show up, never know what you're gonna get. This week, y'all getting messages with no tarot cards, beloved. But Spirit still be bringing the cards that we need to discuss in the principle. We don't have to have cards to message y'all. Hey, Miss Monica, thank you so much for tapping in. I appreciate you. Thank you so much for all of your well wishes and condolences. We appreciate it so much. Um, Spirit was talking to us about dropping dead weight. And then I noticed the date 12/6/2025, which breaks down to the number 9. 3, 6 is 9, and 9 and 9 is 18, which breaks down to 9 is still the number 18. Yes, these releases is hitting us hard. Spirit is like really hammering in like these last few weeks of this year. Like, and I feel like the next 3 weeks, however many weeks we have left, is gonna be Fast and Furious. I keep picking up Fast and Furious, like Paul Walker energy. Um, and y'all know how like sometimes people be so into that character and that role, and something traumatic or dramatic can happen. It's not always a good ending. So we got the message today to drop the dead weight. We've been talking about relationships that are not reciprocal. And so we thank the Most High God, the Alpha and Omega, for coming in and bringing this message. Let it be good to us, our soul, our spirit, for spiritual edification and strengthening, so that we could bear the yoke that's on our shoulder. We talking about being awake. And especially if you holding up somebody else's shit, Spirit said before this year is over with, it would behoove somebody to drop the dead weight, beloved. Have you ever come to a realization that you are carrying so much for other people and they are not, pulling their weight, they not doing their fuck a fair share. Like they just not doing nothing. They just letting you carry everything. You solving all of the problems. Yeah. Have you ever been in a relationship with somebody and be like, well, you figure it out. You figure it out. Or you figure it out. Oh, you feel like that? Well, that's a you problem. That's a you thing. That's a you issue. When you are in a relationship with people and they make everything relationship issues or something that you're bringing to them that is a cause of concern, you're expressing a need, you're communicating something, and you need collaboration. You're working together, you're relating, and they tell you to go figure it out on your own or go solve it by yourself. They are putting that part of the weight of resolving the issue. I want to say amicably, but that's not the word that Spirit is giving. It's something with being amicable because that word is coming through. But it's something about almost putting like the whole issue or the problem or the responsibility of solving it or making it better all on you, when that's not true when you're in a relationship with another person, period. So whether you at work, peer relationships, co-workers, if y'all got a problem, they can't be like, oh shit, you fix it. And you like, wait a minute, like I didn't create it by myself, so I don't fix it by myself. Especially in romantic relationships, if you guys are having some sort of issue, you didn't create the issue by yourself, so you don't solve it by yourself. Yeah, it's definitely exhausting. You talking about getting a slap in the face? Okay, so testimony to Terrell. When I brought up an issue with my ex, that's one of the first clues we knew this person was narcissistic or had some heavy narcissistic tendencies. Because I'm not a therapist, a psychiatrist, I don't diagnose shit. But I can tell you, when you read characteristics, and you can be like, yep, 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 yep. If it walk like a duck, quack like a duck, it's probably a duck. So that's where we went with it. This person had my ex, he lied to me. His dating profile said he was divorced. He wasn't. So I did not find out he was married still until and going through a very nasty divorce until we were already living together. Oh shit, what do I do? Do I jump up and leave? Do I take into account that he's separated? They've been going through a divorce for years. They have nothing to do with each other. So I'm thinking about all these things. But what should have hit me as a reason to let go of that situation, which is why I'm bringing it into the to as testimony to the message, is when I told him, this is an issue for me, he said, then you need to deal with it. I was like, oh shit, that don't feel so very good. Something in my spirit is telling me that's not right. If you lied and you held back information, that's a problem that you created through lies and deceit. Why am I the one left to carry the weight of it and solve it by myself? Basically saying that your emotions are your emotions and you deal with them by yourself. Well, part of that is true, right? I feel how I feel, just like other people feel how they feel in relationships. You do your feelings are yours. Nobody can tell you how to feel, and your feelings are valid. So that should have been my cue to allow my emotional guidance systems, which is my feelings, to tell me to move away from something, especially from a person that will tell me to deal with a problem by myself internally when it's something that they created or they brought into the situation. First clue. Hindsight being 2020, we learned them lessons, and so therefore we share that testimony with all of you. All right. So Spirit told us today to drop the dead weight. Like, evaluate your relationships. Are you in connection with people where things go awry, a situation comes up, it's an issue, and they have you feeling like you need to go and resolve that issue by yourself? Like, it's your job to carry the weight of the solutioning. If that be the case, Spirit said the solution might be to listen to your emotions and let that weight fall away, to just go ahead and let it go. You got to manage it on your own. It only puts you in a position to lose trust in the partnership. If you are left to deal with all of your issues and your problems by yourself, you start to learn that you have to deal with everything by yourself. It creates a sense of independence in that relationship. It erodes trust. It decomposes intimacy. So the relationship itself is already broken if you are left to deal with relating issues by yourself. That's not reciprocal, right? And oftentimes it's a way for people to escape accountability and be responsible to correct something, or take ownership of their shit by just telling you go deal with it. We're gonna take a sip of coffee on that. Thank you to the Alpha and Omega. Even when you at work, you know what I mean? If you are in a work environment and it's a team effort, and if there's issues going on in the work environment, the issues don't fall on one person to correct. It's a group effort. Like, everybody have a role and responsibility. You look and assess what skills are needed to fix the mess, and you guys work together to do it. If you're not in relationships with people, or you have relationships with people who tend to put all the weight on you to correct issues, then Spirit said today is 9-9, or breaking down to 9. It's a good time to release, to evaluate those relationships, and to let them go. I'm seeing the Five of Swords in my head. We keep getting the Five of Swords energy coming through. It's giving like a lot of mental conflict. It's giving mental conflict. It's giving mental battles. It's giving tough conversations. It's giving like really needing to figure things out and get a solution. I feel like a lot of people are really trying to figure out solutions, like how do I move forward? How do I manifest, my highest good? How do I bring in, these goals, the abundance that I'm reaching for, these achievements, taking myself to the next level. We are looking for more health and more longevity, more vitality, more energy, more free time or flexibility in time so that you could do more things that you enjoy in life. And it's difficult to lighten up your spirit. It's difficult to have a positive outlook on life when you're stuck fixing issues that you did not create by yourself. Sometimes the fix is to let that thing go so that you can move forward. If you are putting all your energy in keeping everything going and you're the one, this happens, I got to figure out the car breakdown, I got to figure it out. Something going on with the children, I got to figure it out. Something going on in the household, I got to figure it out. Something going on within the relationship, I'm the one that's got to figure it out. Is you fix it, you fix it, you fix it. And that wears you down. It breaks down your mental mindset, right? It makes you feel isolated and feel lonely. And then, your spirit is like crying out for some sort of relief. And so it's like I hear prayers, you know what I mean? Lighten the load. I need help, quite frankly. Asking your spirit team for help, I feel somebody just really like, I need support. And it's because you're carrying the weight of other people and they're not doing their fair share, right? Not even anything, because relationships are not always 50-50, and everybody is not 100% available, whether spiritually, emotionally, mentally, physically, to be 100%, right, at 100%. So those numbers can kind of be skewed. You give everything you got, you giving your 100%. But we know people don't do that. They hold things back and they put weight on others because they don't want to carry it. They don't want to be responsible. That's the energy that spirit gave us this rising. So I don't know how that's resonating for anybody. If that has been, a thought on you guys' mind in terms of evaluating relationships as we move towards the end of the year. I really feel like spirit is calling us to do that last sweep. You know how you do that last sweep, to check and make sure, did we get everything? Did we get everything? Nope. It's a couple of relationships over here where, you know, people be wanting you to carry their shit, and spirit said no. No more and no more for that. The spirit wants you to be light in spirit, light in heart, light in your mindset with a joyous mindset so that you can get everything that they have ready for you at this time, beloved. Unfortunately, people who are, still battling with that sense of abandonment and people pleasing habits will continue, to take on problems and issues that don't belong to them, like they're obligated to solve them when they're not. And that willingness to continue to self-sacrifice in that way only takes up space where you cannot get your abundance in. The spirit is calling us to make room, and that's a part of the releasing. Miss Monica says she's tired all the time, expressed so much gratitude last night that she's not where she was 6 months ago. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, haven't been in that space for a long time, taking on the weight of other people. I know I've done it, you know what I mean? I've taken on weight. And at the time, it was like, okay, I'll step in and help with this. But then I noticed that there wasn't no support when I was stepping in to help with something. So if I'm helping somebody else do something, I'm helping you. Now it feels like I'm doing it for you, and I need you to come help me do what you were supposed to be doing. It's like a difference in energy. And you can look back over relationships and assess that and say, okay, I've been knowing this person for X amount of time. And when I look over our relationships, It's usually a series of them making their problems belong to somebody else. They end up working to fix their shit, and then they go off and either make more mess, or there's just no appreciation. There's no reciprocity, and I'm getting even the word resentment. Have you ever been? Hey, Miss Lauren, thank you so much for tapping in. Have you ever been resented for helping a friend or just helping a person? That happens a lot in romantic relationships, right? You know what I mean? You get with a person that you feel like, we could work together, or they got, you got your shit, they got their shit, whatever the case may be. You help this person, they start coming up, and then they fuck around and get on and leave. Why? Because they resented the help you gave them. They can't even be with you because you know too much, or now they feel like you solved their issue and they've outgrown or outpaced you. I don't know if anybody been through that. I'm hearing Kanye West. When they get on, they gonna leave your ass for another girl, another guy, another dude, whatever. It's energy is energy. Sometimes people making their problems your problems, it's a habit, it's a behavior, it's a manipulation tactic that they use to get other to escape accountability. That's what Spirit said. So I had to really clean that up in the way that I said it. Because Spirit said, these people are putting their issues on you, asking you to solve whatever problem that's going on between the two of you, the group of you, or whatever, for you to take it, for you to solve it and do it by yourself. And then they would try to figure out, you know, why the emotion and the sentiment isn't in a relationship isn't the same. Well, you can't have an intimate relationship when a person is having you deal with all things by yourself. They're isolating you in the relationship and then want to be intimate with you at their convenience, and that just doesn't work like that. You know, they've learned to just manipulate to escape accountability, and then they can tap into your energy when it's convenient for them and still disregard your own feelings. So how much weight would you be carrying if you are solving the issue? You feel the issue, you broach the issue, you get placed with accountability and blame for the issue, you're tasked with solving the issue, and then at the end of the day you're still felt left isolated and alone and unsure and unsupported. So at the end of the day, it's just good to let it go and let it fall away. Unless you kind of like that energy and you're okay with it. Spirit will definitely continue to give you more of it until you decide to do something different. And that's just the way that it works. You know, if you are good with solving other people's issues, and you're good with solving their problems, and you are good with feeling isolated in your relationships, you are good with carrying around all the excess weight, Spirit said continue to do it. They will give you the opportunity to continue to carry it until you feel like you're crushed, and then you're sick and tired of being sick and tired, and you will do something different. The thing about it is just that how many of our days are we spending doing that? Like, and does it hurt more to let it go now or to let it go later? Because eventually it's going to erode, it's going to decompose. It is not something that's designed for you to remain in. It's designed to pressure you, to put up the mirror to you, to show you. It's giving worthiness, like worthiness. Right. I had to step back and take accountability and inventory of self in those moments. Like when I was with my ex and I found out he was married after we moved in, and he told me, if you feel a kind of way about it, then I need to solve it. That should have been exit right there. What the fuck was going on with you, Lati, where you just didn't pick up and leave? Why did you justify the situation by saying, oh, he's living on his own and they're not together and it's just her because she messy? She was messy, he was messy, the whole shit was a fucking mess. And if I didn't want to bring mess into my life, that should have been my cue to exit. Especially when he tell me if I feel a kind of way about it, I need to deal with it by myself. Oh, that was a clear indicator. But the good thing about it is that we learned about narcissism and its characteristics. We won't go through that shit again. And we also could apply that when we look back, like, damn, that's just like my dad. Could he be? Well, when you line them up side by side, that's what it looked like. It's like, shit. Did we actually fuck around and marry somebody that act just like our dad? Yeah. How did we not see it? He's a terrible person. You didn't see it because you didn't do your shadow work. You had not looked into your internal mirror to see self. And therefore, these other mirrors are coming to you to show you you. What is the unhealed part of you? What is that unhealed version of you? What is the spirit working through other people coming to you to show you where you need to go into self, repair, heal, build up so that the best version of you shows up. When I got there, could get it. I was like, that makes sense. Huh. So I am picking up mirror work and mirror reflection, like reflective or mirror work, like the ability to look at you and see the deepest inner parts of self. You know what I mean? Our inner child. We have inner child wounds and needs, right? Things that didn't get met. And you can think about how are those same needs still unfulfilled in this day. So say if you had parents who were available but maybe not so available, because I'm a Gen Xer. I don't know where everybody at with it, but I'm straight Gen X, beloved. When I tell you parents was working, dad was, we just talked about him. He was on doing some other shit. And mom had to work, take care of the kiddos. So we were independent. You know what I mean? We were independent like shit. We go outside. We ain't coming back to the street like something. We ain't got no cell phone. You can't beat me and find out where we at. You know what I mean? We out here. But there's a thing with being so independent so young. Being a latchkey kid. You come home from school, you get yourself up in the morning, you get your lunch made, or you brown bagged it the night before, take it out the fridge, you go to school, you might walk up a couple blocks, 10 blocks, 15 blocks, whatever the case may be, you get home, you got the latchkey, you let yourself in, you get your afternoon snack. Parent, mom, home by dinner to take care of that. Then it's off to bed. And if you listen, that's a lot of independent movement, right? So you learned that you could do a lot of things by yourself, that you have to depend on self, that it may not be anybody else. But when we look at that, there is a need there for support, for comfort, for security, right? And when we go into adulthood, we can attach to people who appear to be secure, who appear to provide comfort, who appear to, provide, that sense of safety, right? Where you can lean on somebody. You no longer have to do it by yourself. So a predator would only have to portray themselves to be safe, secure, and comforting. And they can do that through love bombing and get you roped in. Before you know it, you're dealing with issues that don't belong to you. A part of people who have that predatory type of mindset, manipulators, vampires, they want to come in and connect to you. Before you know it, you're taking on all of their issues and you're carrying their weight for them. All of your goals and aspirations, whatever you were striving for or whatever you were struggling to get to, whatever you may have expressed to these people, now they become a distraction. They become another obstacle. They become another blockage to all the things you were trying to do. So Spirit said in his day to reflect, to look back, to evaluate these relationships, because today is another 9 day, right? 12/6 breaks down to 9, and 2025 breaks down to 9. 9 and 9 is 18. It's a 9 day. It's a releasing type of day. So if you take the opportunity to think about your relationships and see who are those ones that's always just dumping their weight on me. Who's dumping on me? Who thinks that this is a place where they can bring their issues or they can put me in a position where I'm solving relationship issues by myself? therefore isolating me within the relationship. And I'm carrying all of this excess weight, being bogged down, exhausted, tired, so distracted, low on vital energy and fire, passion, and desire that I cannot pursue my own dreams. 2026, I believe, right? That's 2026 is a one. It's actually 10, but 10 is one with a zero that's exponentiated. That's another level. We're leveling up. How do you level up if you carry an excess weight, beloved? Hey, Michelle, I see you up in here. Hey, she is. Thank you so much. I appreciate y'all for tapping in, for coming through. We just bringing a channel message, giving y'all this download. Spirit dropped on us. Spirit said you can't move and rise up to the next level if you carrying all that excess weight. How the hell you gonna fly with cement around your ankles and fucking cinder blocks on your shoulders? How you gonna fly and how you gonna be great if you don't release the weight? You know, at some point in time you get backed into a corner, you're gonna come out of it. You come out fighting. You get that fire, the desire, the passion returns because it's survivability. It's survivability. A person backs you in a corner and make you feel like they putting all these weight and issues and problems for you to solve, and you're isolated by yourself, feeling boxed in and unsupported. If your spirit comes through, it will put you in survivability mode and you will come out that corner. You will release self, right? But it's like when it gets to be too much. I'm seeing 10 of swords energy, 10 of wands energy. Like, do you have to get to the 10 of swords? Do you have to be like, this is the ultimate, like, I'm done, I can't take no more, like, this is too much? Do I have to be at the 10 of wands where, like, the weight is so heavy to bear before you release and give it up? I saw something else that was so funny on Facebook because it just was like, that shit true. This is so true. Men that talk about the one that got away, bruh. Like, right, why you gotta get down to rock bottom before you let it go? Like, when you start having sleepless nights and you tossing and turning and you can't get no rest and nine of swords, are you ready to let it go? Spirit said no. No, no, we will hang on and keep fighting in these issues until you can no longer fight. To the tower moment, 16 has to come, that divine intervention to tear some shit down before we will release it. Sometimes we talked about this a couple weeks ago. I don't know who all remember that episode, but Spirit gave us the message that we can be loyal to a fault. It could be loyalty to your own detriment. When you are loyal to a person so deeply above self, where you would take on their issues and try to solve it, even though you know and you are putting undue weight and stress and pressure on you that you cannot handle. When it's taking away from your purpose, when it's taking away from what it is the Spirit is calling you to do. Think about that person. Will they offer up the same sacrifice for you? Yes, Miss Monica, she just left an amazing comment. This is so true. She was just thinking about dead-eyed people and how grateful she hasn't gotten that low. She's come close, but so grateful to have the capacity and support that she needed to fight for her life. Absolutely. Because people would take you there. You think these people would not allow you to stress yourself into an early grave? Yes, they will. They will let you stress yourself. Oh, we can't say early because most I got cause life and death. So y'all, you know what we mean when we say that. But it's like, you don't have to allow people to place all of their issues on you, to be in relationship with individuals where the relating issues, something between you and your partner, you and your coworker, you and your friend, it's a two-way thing, right? Two of cups type of energy. If you guys are exchanging with one another, if there's an issue in that exchange and you're communicating that, then the issue is not on you to solve it simply because you communicated it, right? No, look, dude, I don't know. I'm trying to think of something. stupid, you move into a house with a person and they fucking won't put the goddamn seat down and you keep falling in the toilet in the middle of the night. You know what I mean? Yeah, I can fucking turn around and put it all on me to just make sure the seat down, but can you just put the seat down after you pee? You know what I mean? It's like something more serious and big, but that's what the spirit was giving me. You know what I mean? Like one of those things. Well, I don't fucking have to sit down and pee. Why the fuck do I got to put the seat down? You know what I mean? It's the attitude. Think about it. If you cannot do things that just make sense or that people can relate and co-collaborate and work together, then it's not a reciprocal relationship that you should be growing in to put your energy into, let alone carrying the weight for these people. And it's stopping you. You are self-sacrificing you. And please don't hang around and wait for these people to see the shit the way that you see it, because they just not. They not gonna be like, you know what? Well, some will, if they really genuine, and you will know. But the ones that don't, that be like, oh, just put the fucking seat down. I don't have to sit down to piss. I stand up. But you put the seat down to take a shit. So can you just get in the habit of putting the seat down? I don't know. We're gonna get off of that because I don't know. Anywho, if they take the disposition that they cannot compromise on things like that, then that's not a reciprocal relationship to grow. It's you, because everything that you bring up or anything that needs to be worked out, because when two people become one, right, you are molding in relationship. Even when it's platonic, you and this person, you are coming together in friendship and collaboration, right? It's camaraderie that's supposed to be flowing through the group. That camaraderie doesn't mean that group issues become your solo issue for you to solve or just shut up about it. Because that's the other thing. I know you keep asking me to put that seed down, but I'm not. So either deal with it, solve it, or shut up about it. Is that a relationship you want to be in? What if you told that person that same shit, would they stay with you? Think about it. I think about that now in hindsight again, 2020. If I was the one that had been secretly married and moved this dude into my house because he thinking that everything is gonna come together, and he found out I was still married, if him being a professional person, would he have to stay with me? Absolutely not. Same thing in other think about it. Cheating. If you are with a person and they out there with the third party for the street, single as fuck energy, even though y'all are married, and they tell you, I'm gonna do what the fuck I want to do, basically. So if you feel a kind of way, you need to go over there and feel better by yourself. Solve that issue within you. And don't even talk about it no more. Cause you know what I'm gonna do. You know what I'm saying? Like, why why would you say that? Would that person give you the same treatment if you was the one out there for the streets and you was out there creeping and sneaky linking and doing whatever the fuck you wanted to do, living your best single life while you married, and you tell this person, oh, you know what I'm doing, so it's just the agreement. Shut the fuck up about it. Go deal with your feelings. Don't bring it up no more. Would they stay with you or would they leave you? People, and this is definitely, I know me and bros go through this, so I'm definitely not Xing out my brothers. You know what I'm saying, King? I know people got them hearts, and you will give a person a chance after chance, even though you suspect what she's doing, or in the case may be. But women got that shit bad. We'll give a bruh 3, 4, 5, 6 times. I know somebody that's been with somebody, they know this person for the streets for about 15 years, still waiting to get married. Why do you want to marry this person? When they basically telling you to handle your feelings by yourself, and then they for the fucking street. If you don't get your ass, I be wanting to snatch her by the neck, but I can't, because it ain't my journey. Shit. Sometimes we can be loyal to a fault, loyal to people that's disrespectful, loyal to people that leave you in relationship by yourself. So many people married by themselves. You can't get no help with shit. You can't get no help with nothing. And if you bring it up, they tell you them your feelings and you need to go solve it. Spirit dropped that on my heart this rising. So I don't know who this message is for and who it's helpful for. Hey, Anthony. Thank you. I'm glad you resonating. Anthony says we're talking about him and his sister. It's really hard because every sister wants her brother to protect them. However, she doesn't protect his energy, and he takes on a lot because she doesn't show up for you. And I look, my heart is with you. Y'all know right now we are on bereavement. I'm in Arizona right now. Had to show up for my brother. It's just it was three of us. Now it's two. Thank you, sis. It's two in the physical, right? But our oldest sister passed away. And so it's just us two left. And his wife just transitioned on November 23rd. She's, we a medium. So she over here, we chilling. My two sisters is with me. So when y'all see us stutter, I'm getting a lot of energy coming in. Hey, Coach Unique. Hey, Unique. Thank you so much for tapping in, beloved. Um, yeah, so when we got the call on November 23rd and he called me, we was here the next day. You think I'm not gonna show up for my brother? My brother shows up for me. We've had issues in the past and we had that conversation. Like, look, it was one time where he couldn't show up for me because he had to stand behind his wife. His loyalty was to her, and I had to respect that. The narcissistic ex-husband, she had a feeling about him. And we were in Arizona. Our hotel didn't work out. And I'm like, bruh, I'm gonna need to come and stay the night. And sis was like, no, he cannot stay in my house. So that meant I couldn't stay in the house. And I felt a kind of way, like with my brother, but at the end of the day, I respected that he had to respect his wife and his home. And I would never put him in a position to choose between her or I, not my place. I respect her enough to say who she wants in her home. So it was what it was, and we had to deal with it and get over it. So, um, in this day, there's absolutely no way I would not show up for my brother. Absolutely no way. So I pray that healing comes to you and your sister. I don't know how many other siblings you have, but it really doesn't matter because family, you want to be close. And we do know that just because they family doesn't mean that they get to treat you any kind of fucking way. They just don't. You know what I'm saying? Y'all who've been around the channel has heard my testimony with my eldest sister who is transition. We just talked about her. She put up the two fingers, right? Um, we were not talking. We were not talking when she transitioned and hadn't talked for a good year and some change. And we had to deal with that through the grieving. How we weren't able to get past, the rift that was there. And if things be the same scenario and we had to relive it, then I would have to relive it because the position that I had taken with her still stands and she knows it, right? So I just had to cut off an aunt. I cut off a cousin earlier this year. And those two cutoffs, it wasn't even no conversation. It was not. The cousin who was behind my back calling me a witch and everything, coming to me to get readings. You in my space, you in my vicinity. I done read you 3 times at your request, but then you go behind my back and call me a witch and spread rumors and lies about me and shit. I don't know, maybe she think I do black magic to live the life we live. No, we worked for it, We did what we were supposed to do. Exactly, the audacity. So that one was a cutoff with no words. You know what you did. And she came, I think, okay, let me back up because I got to tell y'all it's funny. So found out that she was doing the shit. I didn't say shit to her. Just quit talking. She fucking texts me and says, I don't know what the problem is or the rift is, but I apologize for whatever I did to you, and I just hope we can let it go. Hey, Barbie, thank you so much for tapping in, beloved. Now that's a bland ass fucking apology. That shit not real. That shit not real. When somebody hits you with the I'm not for sure what happened, but I just hope we can get over it. I apologize for whatever I did. Very non-specific. Bitch, you know what the fuck you did. You know what you did. You know what you said. So if you're not coming to me on some woman shit, like, or just person to person on real G, real wheat, then get the fuck out of here and miss me with that. Don't come to me on on whatever I did. Tell me specifically. I know I did this behind your back. I know I said this about you. I know it may have hurt your feelings. I know what that impact is to our relationship, and I feel a kind of way about it. I would like to make amends. I apologize. Right. Don't give me no fake ass apology. And then the apology comes with changed behavior. So after the apology, what does she do? Turn around and call my mom and talk shit about me to my mom, talk to other family members. So you still doing this shit? She went to my another person in our group. She went to their church and talked to their pastor about them to not hang out with me because I'm taking them away from their belief system. That's me. That's my influence. Okay, if you come away from demagoguery, that's your business, but it ain't got nothing to do with me. You make your own decision. Let the word show itself to be approved. And what's true to you? What's true to you? We just bring the message from spirit. Spirit tell you and talk to your soul, and you go do some research, and you say, yeah, okay, I agree with Lati. I agree with what spirit has shown me. I resonate with that. Perfect. But it's not for me to change your mindset. And that's what they did after the fake ass apology. Did we address that? Nope. Because that's what you want. You want me to call you and say some shit and go all off and give you the energy. Not gonna give it to you. Nope. The auntie we cut her off because my father's wife couldn't come to my house. I don't fuck with my father. We have no relationship, like zero. Why would his wife want to come to my house? And everybody knows this. So I feel like they had group amnesia. I don't know what the illusion is. I feel like they all flying monkeys for the head narcissist, which is my dad. So that's where I'm at with that. Because my auntie is the person that walked me down the aisle for my first wedding. Why did she walk you down the aisle, Lati? Because my dad is a piece of shit. He wasn't there. So she was the person that connected me to my paternal side of the family. So she walked me down the aisle. Should have let my brother do it. He was pissed at me because I told him, I'm going to let my auntie do it. My TT. Anywho. So if you know that I don't fuck with my dad at all, like zero, like the last time I spoke to him is when I told him fuck you at my sister's funeral. Like he texted me after that and said I'm dead to him, and everybody knows that I'm dead to you. So both your kids is dead. Great. Why do your wife want to come to my house though? Monitoring ass fucking spirit. Bitch, you'll never step across my threshold so that you can go run around and talk about what I got. And you come in my house and pray over some fuckery over my goddamn shit. Fuck no, you talking about witches and warlocks? That's exactly what that is. Why would you even want to come? If you married to a man that don't got no relationship with his children, why would you want to go to their house? To do what? For what? What would be your intention? What's the motivation? So she can do some spell work in my shit? Because they all under some sort of fucked up ass illusion. Head warlock. And the whole group got amnesia. That's right, sis. Amnesia. To be nosy. Right. Why, as a woman, I would not even feel comfortable. And that shit could never fly. I know she is a tear. That's a demon. First of all, you sleep with a demon every goddamn night. And I'm not saying that because we have an estranged relationship. I'm really not. The man was pedophilic. He was the reason why my sister had so much childhood trauma and that she led the life that she lived. She did not recover from what he did to her. She was this was the I was the golden child, the one that could do no wrong, and she was the scapegoat. He would do shit to her all the time just because of his anger and his issues. He was deeply traumatized and nobody got help. It was one of those things we just gonna pray it away, and that shit don't work. If your son has been essayed by older siblings. This is generational curses we breaking now. This is real shit. Testimony to Terrell. If your son has been SA'd and he has had all these traumatic experiences, you can't just take him to the pulpit and pray that shit away. You need to take him to therapy. You need to go get him some help. Because a lot of times those people take that same behavior and they do it to somebody else. And so he hurt her and she was the scapegoat and I'm the golden child. And what did we fall out about her funeral? Because he owns a liquor store and he put buying his liquor over paying for her final arrangements. I didn't come in and pay the final bill because we had to get liquor delivered to the store because business goes on, is what he told me. Now, if that's not some cold shit from a addicted, heroin addicted, pedophilic, absent father that's been, he was never in our life. When I tell you, my sister had to be, because I was 5. So when we left, my mama left him, she had to be 10. At that point, the damage to this 10-year-old person who was my sister was so, y'all. So yeah, a lot of the blame I put on him. Did she need to take accountability and go get help? Yes, she did. Absolutely. So we won't take that away from her. That was her thing she had to bear. But at the same time, he pretty much was like, oh, she was out there in the streets because she's addicted and all that stuff. That's her problem. She need to go fix it. Bitch, how about you fucking help her do what you did when you was in prison? Cause he got help in prison. He got clean in prison. He didn't do that shit on his own. He got locked up. He was on his 3rd strike. He was about to go to jail for life. So you couldn't apply none of that to help your kid that you fucked up and help get her on the right way? No, he said that was her problem to bear. And that's why I bring this message to y'all. You know what I mean? Be careful of being in relationships where they cause issues and trauma and heartache and they tell you to go isolate yourself and deal with that problem by yourself, to go soothe it yourself, to go comfort yourself from some shit they did. If they are not willing to help repair the relationship, to fix it, to work with you and be patient as you heal from the injury that they gave, then Spirit said it's time to let that relationship go. No longer are you required to carry that weight. First of all, you weren't required to carry it in the first place. It didn't belong to you. So when you see that mirror being held up to you, what are you going to do? In this day and age, we make the decision, oh, hell no. Nah. If this shit ain't reciprocal, if it ain't a give and take on some, we both want the highest good for one another and we can support that, Ashe, fuck away from me. And I ain't got no problems with telling you or not telling you because silence, surrendering to silence, that's the response. A person don't respond to you, they ghost you, you already know what the answer is. You ain't got to keep chasing some shit. If they didn't reply, then you already got your answer, beloved. They don't prioritize you. It's not reciprocal. They don't think very highly of you. They don't. It takes 2 seconds for a person to reply and to validate or to say, I saw you, I hear you, and I can either talk to you now or I can get back with you at such and such time, and then keep that. Keep your word. If they not coming together and working with you to solve issues that is either within the relationship or things that they cause injury to you and they're telling you to bear it by yourself, then you know to exit. And for many of y'all, I'm getting the same thing like I did with my cousin. You ain't even gonna say shit. Just exit. If you ain't living with this person, and if it's family, you could just stop responding. Fucking block them and don't even say shit. Change your number. You know, I was considering that. And then you can just go through your list of the ones who fit the bill, reciprocal relationships. We want the highest good from one another. We call and comfort and support and uplift. And those are the ones that stay in the contact list. Everybody else, fucking exit. Taking up space. So clear up emotional space, spiritual space, energy space, mental space. Take off some of that fucking weight. Shit. I feel better just spiritually, energetically, just doing that shake after we said the message. It felt like a release coming down. Like I could feel energy flow. You know how your shoulders and your delts and all that shit be so fucking tight. You feel like you can't get no flow to the brain, and you get that good oxygen, that massage, and they work it out, and you feel like, oh, things are flowing and moving again. Take that shit off so that you can get moving again. A person that leaves you to solve issues, and you're in a relationship with a person, communing with a person, and they give you the issue to solve, or whatever issue in the relationship, they tell you you must solve it by yourself. They are isolating you. They are putting the responsibility on you. They are escaping accountability and responsibility, and they are actually communicating how they feel about you and the relationship in general. So, with all that being said, what is this mirror reflecting back to you? Your worthiness. How do you feel about yourself? If they are putting you behind them and you are behind them, you're not first, you're not second. You know, everything is coming before you, beloved. And you get lost and get buried under a pile of issues and problems where most of it probably don't even belong to you. And if you only dealt with the things that belong to you, what do we need to do in this moment to get to the next moment, to get to the next hour, to get to the next day? Right? If I only had to account for that, account for self, how much more self love could I give? Self compassion, right? How much more fire and drive and intensity would I have? How much more energy and vitality would I have? How much more resource would I have? How much more peace of mind would I have? Peace of heart and peace of spirit. And that itself is your abundance. That is your abundance. So sometimes people could be waiting for like this big payday because for some reason I'm seeing this, they're putting this on our heart to say, some people could be waiting for the abundance of money to come in. Like that's my abundance. I'm waiting for this abundance to come in. I know it's coming. I know my payday is coming. But you can have the people in your life where the spirit will not give it to you. You've earned it in every other capacity, but you haven't qualified to receive it because you have people around you that are just energetic vampires. The abundance and the gifts that the spirit, these blessings and gifts of prosperity, the spirit will give onto you, that you have built up in your spiritual bank. Your spiritual bank is overflowing because when you do that and you help people out from a charitable heart, a joyful heart, right? That's the difference because that hit me in the spirit. And we're going to touch on that in a second. When you give from a joyful heart, you put that in your spiritual bank. You are making deposits. Whatever happens in the spirit happens in the physical, right? So if your spiritual bank is overflowing, then that means your physical bank, your spiritual wealth must too overflow. And you could be right there. Like the spirit could really be like, God damn it, if you would just, I'm trying to bless you. I'm trying to give it to you. I want to hand it to you so bad, but I can't give it to you with that person next to you. I can't give it to you with that person next to you. I can't give it to you until you learn this lesson because it's not about the person that's next to you. It's about you getting the lesson about who you allow to sit next to you. The spirit building your table and got these chairs out. Everybody can't sit next to you. And they can't put the plates out. They probably won't. I'm seeing the table that's made, but it don't got no dressing on it. It ain't no tablecloth. It ain't no decorations. It ain't no candle bras. It is not this big, elegant fix up for this 5-star, 6-star dinner with all of this different stuff that the spirit has prepared for somebody. You've done the work. But they can't give it to you because you got somebody. You done brought this person in. You done drug them in and set them, picked them up and set them in a chair next to you. Spirit said, no, I can't even put the shit on the table because this person can't be here. They cannot be here. And the longer you keep them in your life, is the longer you're going to sit there waiting on the spirit to give you your abundance. to give you your let us eat. We ready to eat. The food ain't ready. Food been ready. It's back there on the warmer. It's been ready. The whole freaking host staff is sitting over there on the side. I see a whole crew of people sitting over here on the side in a line, ready to wait on you, ready to come and set the table. Put all these beautiful things, and you know how they throw the napkin over your lap and all of this stuff, and you sitting up here ready to eat, ready to grub. Why your stomach still grumbling? Why you still hungry? Why is your spirit not fed? Because you carrying shit that don't belong to you, beloved. And you carrying, bringing, and dragging a person with you. And this don't have to be romantic. It could be family. It could be long-term friends. It could be a job, a place of employment. It could be something that where you are in a position that you have to solve things by yourself, relating issues, and the other party is refusing to come alongside you to solve it. And I'm getting amicable. So I don't know if it's just like a fight with somebody where it's like so much friction and frustration. Again, I'm saying the Five of Swords is giving battle of the minds. It's giving conflict. I'm getting arguments. I'm getting even being at a wit's end. Like again, you stuck reeling trying to solve shit that don't fucking belong to you. Like this is a us thing. Why are you placing all of it on me? If you're gonna be in a relationship by yourself, then shit, what's that old saying we be saying? I could do bad all by myself. It didn't come out of nowhere, and it's not applicable to just no one specific gender. If you with a person that's got you doing mental gymnastics and wrecking your brain and up all fucking night doing the goddamn most, and they telling you you gotta solve it by yourself, then you might as well be by your fucking self. Cause that could be the solution. Oh, I solve it by myself? Me solving it by myself means me being by myself. Because truth be told, I'm not by myself no way. And when you get this person off of your table, out that seat, then here come the whole team spiritually to set the table, lay everything out pretty and neat, put your napkin over. Now it's time to eat. That's what they said. That's what they got for the week. Thank y'all so much for tapping in. I hope it resonates for somebody. Yes, life will get lighter when you are not, carrying everybody else. Everybody in a reciprocal relationship, in community, in collaboration, in teamwork, everybody carries their weight. And it's best when we got like a mixed skill set. Everybody don't have to be the same. So it's not about seeing or having the exact same mindset or insight, right? We get value off of our differences, off of the variety. We don't need a whole village full of fucking carpenters. You know what I'm saying? You can't everybody can't be a carpenter. We need some plumbers. We need some electricians. We need some roofers. We need people who know how to lay cement. We need excavators. We need medical technicians. We need a whole skill set in community that allows things to function and sustain itself. And relationships find a natural balance when people have the mindset to work with one another instead of just working solely for self. So if your relationships are not collaborative and people are not working together for the highest good, take assessment of that. Allow spirit to help you make the decision so that you can get them out the table so that those who want to work together can eat. The Most High God got them a plate. It's just not right here. It's over there. So they're going to have to go over there. And you have to be comfortable with letting them go. Now, you ain't got to do a fuck shit thing. You can do what you want to do. These is just suggestions from the spirit, but they said it'll behoove you to take all that damn extra weight off your shoulders. Because they got other places for you to go. You can't be on the food card. You can't be on the quantum leaping when you carrying other people's weight. You let that shit go. You will see what it really is. I love you like I love the A and the O. I do. I love you. They said the word lives as you live. Sometimes You're gonna have to just give a nice crisp no. Dot period. And sometimes you ain't gonna be called to say shit. Ghost. Let it go. Flip it. We be coming over here. They ghosted me. Okay, then you already know what that means. You are not the priority. So what we need to do to move that pain of being ghosted, because it's valid. It's your emotion. But how do you move it into your purpose, into realizing your worthiness? They don't want to work together. They don't want to work with you. They don't value you. Then you take you and go find something else to do. I love y'all so much. To the next now, y'all. Ashe, beloveds. Ba-da-ba, ba-da.